So hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Hamza Nabil and I'm from Summer 10 Batch 1. So today we are going to talk with AI. The topic is please, the evolution of politeness in language. So I will open the AI so we could ask you questions like how was the word please invented and where is it originated from?
Hi there, Hamza.
Hello. So I wanted to ask you about the word please and its history, like where was it originated from?
Absolutely. The word please actually comes from the old French word plaisir, which means to please, give pleasure to, or satisfy. It found its way into English around the 14th century from the Latin word placere, which means to be pleasing or agreeable. So,
So how
yeah,
did the word please originate and what did it mean in its earliest usage?
well, it's really interesting. The word please originally came into English from Old French, where it was plaisir, and that in turn came from the Latin lacere. In its earliest use, it meant to be agreeable or give pleasure. So it was all about being agreeable or making someone happy.
Okay. So it was from French.
Exactly. It made its way into English through Old French, so we've got the French language to thank for that little bit of politeness.
Okay. Were there other words or phrases used in older languages to express politeness before please became common?
Absolutely. Different cultures had their own ways of expressing politeness, long before please became common in English. For example, in Old English, people might use phrases that invoked honor or respect to the listener. In other languages and cultures, there were similar terms or gestures that showed politeness or formality. It's a universal human thing, really.
Okay. So how did politeness markers evolve differently across cultures and languages?
That's a really fascinating topic. Politeness markers definitely evolved in unique ways in different cultures. For example, in Japanese, there are entire levels of formality built into the language itself, known as keigo, which change depending on whom you're speaking to. Meanwhile, in many European languages, formal pronouns and titles developed to show respect. Ultimately, each culture found its own path to politeness, shaped by their social norms.
Okay. So how does the use of please reflect uh, social power dynamics?
Well, the way we use please can definitely reflect social power dynamics. For instance, someone in a lower social position might use please more often when making requests of someone in a higher position. It can show respect or politeness, but it also subtly acknowledges a social hierarchy. So it's not just a word, it often reflects social relationships and cultural context too.
Okay. So why do some languages rely heavily on words like please while others use tone, grammar, or honorifics instead?
Yeah, it's really cool to think about that difference. Some languages, like English, lean a lot on specific words, like please. Others use built-in grammatical forms or honorifics to show respect. It usually comes down to how that culture developed its social norms around politeness.
Okay. So are there culture where saying people please too often might be considered unnecessary or even incisive?
That's a great question. And yes, absolutely. There are definitely cultures where using please too frequently might come across as overly formal or even a bit insincere.
So does modern usage has the meaning of frequency of please changed in contemporary English compared to the past?
Yeah, absolutely. Over time, the frequency and the way people use please have definitely shifted. In contemporary English, it might be a bit more casual or even optional in some contexts where it used to be more formal and expected.
Okay, so how do digital communication styles, text, social media, emails affect the use of politeness markers like this?
That's a really interesting angle. In digital communication, like texting or social media, people often get a bit more relaxed about politeness markers. It's like the format encourages brevity and a more casual tone.
Okay. Do younger generation use these definitely than older ones?
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. Actually, the younger generation does tend to use please a bit differently. Sometimes they might skip it entirely in quick messages or casual chats, especially in texting or on social media. It's not necessarily just polite, it's just a more streamlined way of communicating.
Hmm. So, do you think like could politeness and language evolve further with AI assistance and technology shaping communication?
Absolutely, I do think so. As AI assistants and technology become a bigger part of how we communicate, our sense of politeness could definitely evolve.
So, is please becoming less important as societies move towards more casual speech?
Yeah, you could say that in a way. Please isn't necessarily disappearing, but as our everyday communication gets more casual, it might feel less mandatory.
Okay. So, what might you please in the future, if anything?
That's a really fascinating thought. Honestly, we might.
Yeah. So, what might replace please in the future, if anything?
Well, that's a really interesting question. We might end up using more casual signals like emojis or other friendly cues in our tone. And possible that those little social touches might fill in for please in the future.
Okay. So, thank you very much. Okay. So, everyone. So today we knew the history of the word this, like how was it first said in French and now like everyone is using it. And when we asked the AI like what do you think it will be replaced in the future, it replied like maybe it will be the images and stuff like that. So thank you for watching me talk with the AI. So inshallah I will meet you in my next video. For then, goodbye.